I'm Dave. And I'm also Dave. And we're going for a drive. ...2022 Hyundai Veloster N DCT. Dual clutch transmission, and we're at the racetrack. Let's go for a rip. Whoop, whoop. All right, I am in the Veloster N DCT, and man, I am pumped on this thing because who doesn't love a hot hatch? This type of car has been around for a very long time, and that's because it kind of ticks all the boxes. It's practical, it's fun, it's downright fast if you put it in N mode. Before you go on the racetrack though, you must do some things in the Veloster N. You have to turn off the air conditioning because that robs horsepower. Let's just turn the climate control completely off. Now you have to go into N mode with the little flag button on the steering wheel here. And we also want to go into N mode on the display because this opens up all kinds of cool stuff. We also have this little button on the steering wheel here, NGS, which stands for N-Grin Shift, and that is Hyundai's fancy way of saying overboost mode. Should mention this car, as equipped with the DCT, is just a hair under $40,000 Canadian, or around $33,000 US, and the manual, 6-speed manual version is about $1,500–1,600 less. So it's not a big premium to step up to the DCT, which does give you 8 speeds and lightning quick shifts that make it quicker from 0 to 60 miles per hour and quicker in the quarter mile than the Type R, and quite a bit, almost a half-second quicker than the manual version of the Veloster N. So it is giving you a lot of extra bang for the buck for $1,500 here. And I'm just looking at the marshal here, who's looking very official in the chair there. He's giving me the hand stop sign. All right, here we go. Oh, forgot to use launch mode, but got distracted by life. We'll show you the launch mode later, or like I said, go to Savage Geese and the Straight Pipes and whatever your favorite review channel is, and you'll find them abusing the launch control. I'm not really a launch control guy anyway, so I am in just regular driver mode here, but I can take over anytime I want with the paddles. So I'm going to go down to 3rd gear here for turn 1. Give it a little squirt out of turn 1 here, and oh, there's the shift light, yeah. Oh, it upshifted for me automatically there because I got greedy. Down into 3rd. It is quick shifting. It's not PDK quick, but it's pretty darn close. And considering this is an in-house built gearbox by Hyundai, it's pretty impressive. Oh wow, this car has amazing turn-in. I think I've forgotten how good this car was. We track tested and modified one of these against a Civic Type R a couple of years ago, and it was spectacular. It wasn't quite as quick as the Type R, but I thought it was more fun in a way. It was rawer. It had more, I don't know, more emotion to it somehow. The Type R feels very clinical to me, almost like a front-wheel drive GTR. This car feels more like a hoon machine, like it really wants you to wring its neck. And wow, it is spunky around here and has excellent turn-in and no sign of understeer. Like, this thing is super willing to turn. Now, I haven't been at the racetrack much, as I already said, so there's a little bit of just happy Dave soul oozing out here because it just feels so good to be back on the racetrack. But I'm chasing a Cayman here, and I bet you we're going to stay right on his bumper, and the brakes are excellent. So I'm right up this Cayman's posterior here. He's giving me the point by. I mean, what more do you want than that, guys? We're passing Caymans in a front-wheel drive hot hatch. Life is good. Life is very good. And I'm getting in a little oversteering. Nice. It has an electronic LSD, not a mechanical LSD, but so far I haven't felt it doing anything unwanted. So all in all, man, this car feels exceptionally well tuned. Bravo to whoever at Hyundai is responsible for their N program, and this car in particular, because this thing is seriously fun and seriously quick. I mean, we're stomping on Camaros and Caymans here. Admittedly, this guy appears to be lost. So, I won't claim too big a win on this, but He's gonna be a Camaro going though. Look at him. Your typical muscle car guy. Slow in the corners, holding me up, sorry, and pulling away on the straightaways. Now, does he have mirrors? He's not apparently aware that there's a car here. Oh, now he's aware, okay. He did use his mirrors. Kudos to you, sir. I'm sorry if I called you bad names. It's the adrenaline speaking. Trail braking, and this car rotates, man. I am so impressed. Trail braking rotation out of a front-wheel drive car is a very rare characteristic. Like, look at this. I can just chuck it in here, lift throttle, it rotates, back on the power, it pulls you out. This is the way a front drive car is supposed to be set up if you want to go faster around a racetrack. Obviously, not everyone buys front-wheel drive cars to do this, but if this is what you want to do and put the power down to the front wheels for under 40 grand, holy cow, this is a lot of car. A lot of car. Let's see, end grin shift. Yeah, it's giving me the 20-second countdown there, so maybe it's giving me more boost. I don't know. On the binders here, not very late braking. I'm just so out of practice. We're gonna catch this BMW anyway. It's an M3 too. Well, we've passed a Cayman, we've passed a Camaro. Now we've caught an M3 who I can only hope is on a cool down lap, because otherwise he should be going much faster. Alright guys, this is gonna be it. This is probably my one chance at a hot lap here. Trying to manage all this traffic, so let's make it a good one. Gonna use the old end grin shift on the front straight here for 20 seconds of over boosting. Here we go. Give me that end grin. See the countdown right there. We are end grinning. I can't really tell if it's any quicker, but I just don't have enough seat time in this car to know for sure. Hard on the brakes, and wow, the brakes are really good. Gotta say, whoever chose the brake pads for this car weren't playing games. This thing has some stopping power. It's got surprisingly good grip. These Pirelli, oh geez, I overcooked the braking zone badly there. We'll just make the best of it. The problem is I'm trying to talk and drive at the same time. Not always the easiest thing to do. Now maybe I'll just focus on the lap time for the rest of this one and see what I can do here. Man, we might catch these guys. Oh, I'm into ice mode on the ABS. My goodness. That's always the risk of ABS, is that if it ices you out, you are in a world of hurt. And I'm gonna catch these guys. And grin shift. Nope. Alright guys, it is the next day and I got a little ragweed going on, little allergies, so I'm a little stuffed up here. I apologize for that, and apologize for not getting you the track data right at the track, but it was super loud there and I was struggling with my lap timer. I had to set a start finish line on it to extract the data, and in any case at that point I decided I'd go home and I'd take my time going through the data. So without further ado, I will tell you that, wow, this little Veloster N DCT really punches above its weight. I'm very, very impressed how capable it is on the racetrack and how enjoyable it is on the street too. But as for the lap times, well, I did a best of a 1:22.89, which frankly is at least a second faster than I expected to go. The best I've ever done on a Civic Type R is a 1:22.2. So having done a 1:22.89 in this car, in traffic, in non-ideal conditions, with like me having almost no seat time for the last year and a half, I feel really good about it. I feel like this car is certainly on par with the Civic Type R now in performance, which isn't something we could say in previous years, but because of the addition of this DCT gearbox and the retuning that they've done, I don't know if there's any like official statement on it, but to me, they've certainly recalibrated the electronic dampers, they've fine-tuned everything, as far as I can tell on this car, it feels like a totally different car than the 2019 version that I track tested a few years ago. And not only is it more compliant and better able to soak up the big bumps, say like a curve at the racetrack, it's also got better motion control. It's got a more supple ride out on the street, like on these bumpy roads we're on in Hamilton right now. And yet, when you set it into N mode, it really limits body roll exceptionally well. It lets the tires work without overloading the front outside tire the way the old car did, and that would cause understeer. This car had no understeer. I mean, it was remarkably neutral. I could get it to rotate very, very easily with a bit of trail braking, and if not trail braking, then I could drop throttle in the middle of the corner and get it to rotate and then get back on the gas right away. I would call it like throttle steering a front-wheel drive car. So just really blown away in a pleasant way how much progress Hyundai's N Group has made in the tuning of this car. It's remarkable. The only knock, of course, you could offer on this car is that, you know, the interior plastics are not great in certain places, but all the touch points are really, I think, nicely wrapped. I love the contours of the steering wheel, the shift knob, which you never really use because you're going to use the paddle shifters, which are nice aluminum shifters. Like, all the touch points on the HVAC system all feel good. So, like, to me, complaining about the door plastics or the dash plastics seems irrelevant when you're getting so much technology. I don't know, guys. This thing is a real winner to me. I think it offers a hell of a lot of value, a hell of a lot of performance for the money, and most importantly, to someone like me, it is a thoroughly enjoyable car to drive. So if you're on the market for a hot hatch, I would say put this at the very top or very near to the top of your list. Go cross shop it with the Golf R and the GTI, the Civic Type R and the Audi, you know, S3 or whatever it is that you consider a hot hatch out there. And I think you will be very impressed by the overall performance and you know, amount of content they pack into this, and most importantly, the fine tuning they've done to this car. I cannot overemphasize how impressed I am by the fine tuning they've done on this car. So that's a lot of yakking, guys. I hope you found it informative. Hope you found it useful. So thanks again for watching, everyone, and we will see you in the next one. 'Cause I say tomato and you say tomato. I say potato and you say potato. Hyundai, 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 Hyundai. Let's call the whole thing off. Or let's just be friends. Say it however you want, everybody.